Hi, hello. So, in today's video, I am going to be making, they're called zines. Okay, so my art teacher assigned a project where we have to make a zine. And I couldn't make a whole 4-page magazine and make a video this week, so I'm combining them. And then it'll probably be like that next week too. So you guys get to come along for the ride. So the requirements were the outside page was color and the inside had to be black and white, or had to be able to translate to black and white. And what a zine is, for those who don't know, a zine is a small circulation of self-published work of original or appropriated text and images, usually reproduced via a copy machine. Zines are the product of either a single person or a very small group and are popularly copied into physical prints for circulation. They're basically self-published magazines. So I wanted to make one about my 4 little OCs, and it fit perfectly because it's supposed to be 4 pages. So the first thing I did was I did the rough sketches for all 4 pages. I wanted all 4 pages planned, so I knew exactly what I was doing. The only 2 pages I haven't planned were the front back cover, but I'll get there when I get there. So for each drawing, I started out with Kata, and so for you guys who don't know, my OCs, they're space bounty hunters, and so at least Kata and Haveen, which Kata is the cat girl and Haveen is the cyborg, they take offensive placements, and Jat and Starla, which Jat was a little gremlin, the one I sketched in yellow, and Starla was the one I sketched in like a teal. They're more of like support when it comes to like them doing their job. So I made Kata and Haveen poses more offensive and them fighting because that's what they do. So I also added some perspective with Kata's staff, which her weapon of choice is a staff. I've decided that because I never really decided a weapon of choice, but I think a staff fits, or like it's like a taser staff thingy. So yeah, for the sketching process for this, I had to keep in mind 2 things. One, I wanted these to be screen tones and in like monochrome, except for the pop of color. That's each character's signature color. I also need to write bios for each page. Like there's one side is a normal page, the other side is going to be a bio about a character. I need to do that, but I'm going to do that once I'm completely done with all the drawings. Anyway, if you guys want to know more about my OCs, I'll link the videos in the iCard of each of my OCs. Anyway, onto these sketches. So I did the rough sketches first, and then I did the more refined sketches after I got all the rough sketches done. And for this video, I only finished Kata and Haveen, and next week you guys will get to see Jat and Starla completed. For those of you who don't know or only saw that one OC video, their character designs have changed a little bit. I redesigned all of them to fit more of what I think they would look like and in the world how it looks in my head, because yeah. Anyway, for any of you who know, I know a lot of you guys don't really pay attention to my OCs, so for anyone who remembers, I did in fact change their designs. Anyway, so for each of the sketching, I had a particular problem with Starla, which should be in the background right now, and Kata. For some reason, Kata, I couldn't draw her pose. I sketched it, I rough sketched it, it looked great. I saw it in my head, it looked great. And then every time I drew her shoulder, it looked wrong. And then for Starla, I was sketching it and I was like, what's wrong? Something's wrong with her head. Is it too small? No. And then I go back and look at it. Oh, it's too big. And so it was the right size, and then I made it too big because I thought it was too small. And then I realized I made it too big, so I had to shrink it again. That was interesting. I never mentioned this on my channel. Now I'm looking at the Starla drawing. I never explained what her like little job was on the ship. Her job is to like research people and find people who have like criminals who have bounties on them. That's her job for the most part, until later in like the series in my head when she becomes more of an offensive, but that's way later. And then what Jat does, the little gremlin I sketched in yellow, what they do is they make weapons. Their goal in life is to make the universe's strongest weapon. In the meantime, they make other weapons to sell for money so they can continue to make the universe's largest weapon. That is all they care about. And they are very rude little baby child. Okay, now that I'm done talking about, I should mention this. So, sorry, but if you guys if you're new here and you like my art and you're like, whoa, this is cool, you should subscribe. And if you're not new, you should comment so this video gets boosted to more people, and share. So, just so you guys know, I have a gaming channel and I have a Ko-fi, and my commissions are open. All my details for that are in the link below. Thank you for listening to my shilling. I try to make it as quick as possible. Okay, on to what I was really wanting to talk about, which also first I found a brick brush on Clip Studio Paint. I was so happy that I got that to work because I hate drawing bricks so much, like a lot. But as you can see, I did everything in screen tones. So I wanted this to kind of look like a manga, like with the screen tones and the black and white, and my style's already pretty anime. Oh god, I feel cringy saying that. But because of the nature of my art style, I was like, well, making it look like a manga would be like probably the best way to go about this being all black and white. So figured out how to use screen tones in Clip Studio Paint, which was kind of a pain. I've never screen toned anything in my life, but it was also kind of fun. I also thought because it was just cell shading, it was going to be a lot faster, but because I had no clue what I was doing with the screen tones, and I still really don't, it took me a lot longer to make this drawing. I also wasn't sure what Haveen's tones would be because of her new colors, so I was just kind of going in blind. Same thing with Kata. I feel like I tried to make sure that I didn't mess up their skin tone, so I think I made Haveen a little bit darker than what I usually put as her skin tone because I didn't want to make her any lighter. Because I don't want to make her lighter when she's not light. Anyway, and the same thing for Kata, because it's easier for me to tell the lightness and darkness of a skin tone when it's a human skin tone. Kata, even though you guys aren't seeing color in this video, Kata is green, and that means it's very difficult for me to process that color, because to people it might look a little bit darker, but the actual tone of it is a lot lighter. So I try to balance that out to how people see it and how it actually is, because color theory. I also tried to make sure that the other lighter parts of her costume, like the sleeves and the little turtleneck bit and her staff weren't the same tone. I think I kind of failed on that, but it happens. And so for Haveen, each of them have again, these two are the two fighting ones, so they each have an offensive pose. So for Kata, I kind of made her character kind of like a more justice-y because of her backstory, which again, my all about OC's video. So she is a lot more justice-y and was the type of person who would go onto ships of corporations, space corporations who are kidnapping. They're not people, but I'm gonna say people for the sake of it, of understanding, kidnapping people so that they can turn them into working machines, essentially. And then Haveen, since she's more of a running around on the streets type of person looking for jobs, because even though she is a victim of that, she could kind of care less because of her personality. She just wants to make money and survive. For her, she'd be angry at if she's trying to catch somebody and they shoot her good arm, so her human arm, she'd be mad and she'd be like, "Screw you, grr, screw you." So that's basically what I was drawing. And if you read the little speech bubbles in the sketches, you would see that, because because what she's saying is, how really, my good arm, you fucker. I blurred out fucker because school, obviously. And then for Kata, it's how dare you doing all this to these people, because they're kidnapping well, other aliens and basically turning them into like working machines. Anyway, I had a lot of fun doing this. It took up a decent chunk of my time. Like I said, figuring out screen tones was a trip, and I kind of have this thing where if I can figure out half of it myself, I won't look up a tutorial. Which is not great, but at the same time, I did that. I will say Clip Studio has a pretty easy way, and they have screen tones already in there. The only thing that sucked is I used the selection tool for both of these, and so there were little marching ant lines I had to go back and fix, but other than that, it was actually a really nice experience. I had a lot of fun drawing these. They're gonna look great when I'm gonna print them myself so I can print it all in color, but I can't wait to be able to print these all in color. It's gonna look super cool. But thank you guys for watching if you did. I really appreciate this. I don't think this video is gonna do very well, so because usually videos about my OCs don't do very well, but I hope if you liked it. Thank you for watching this far, and I don't really have anything else to say. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.